morning. How are you today? This is Morgen Schick on the Lifestyle Talk Radio Network. I am so happy to be with you this beautiful morning, and I want you to call me as soon as you can to talk all things beauty. Beauty Rehab is the name of the show. The number is 888-454-3378, 888-454-3378, Lifestyle Talk Radio Network. I am Morgen Schick. I am so excited to be with you. And I live in a beauty-obsessed society just like you do, but I come from being a Ford model for 30 years, being a makeup artist, an author, and an expert on TV, and doing what I do every single day to help you. And this is such an important place for us to be able to break down so we can make it easy for ourselves, because you need to understand that living your most beautiful self, I know it sounds shallow. I know we're supposed to care only about our heart and what's inside and our intellect, and that's what we tell to our daughters, and we try and say that to the mirror. But the problem is we live in a visual society. Now it's even more visual. Now it's everybody's on Twitter, everybody's on Instagram, people are emailing and videoing and doing all of this constantly, and that's one of the things I want to talk about today. Actually, I've got three things I want to talk about today. But the first thing I want to talk about is that beauty is your image. What you put out there is how people will decide you are going to be treated. So what you're doing is you're giving them the image how you want people to treat you. Does that make sense to you guys? For instance, this last week, I was in an absolute rush, but I had to go to an event for the Skin Cancer Foundation, which I really want to support because I feel like none of us really understand how aggressive and how deadly melanoma is. And melanoma is is skin cancer, but melanoma it goes to another cancer so quickly that it's really hard to handle melanoma. So we've got to stay out of the sun. We have to make it so we don't care about being tan. Or if you're going to be tan, you need to do it in a fake way, meaning that you need to use a spray tan, you need to use tan towels, you need to use something else, because we've got to get out of the tan obsession society. So anyway, I went to this event, and I was really late. But I wanted to I wanted to get my hair right, and I have curly, frizzy hair, and it kind of freaks me out. I did my hair for about 20 minutes, and then I put it in a bun because I didn't like it. I thought it looked frizzy, and put on my dress, put on a jacket, and I went, and I was late. And I got there, and I got photographed by a photographer, whatever. So yesterday in the New York Times, I have a big picture in the New York Times style section. And everyone called and said, oh my gosh, I got emails, I got Twitters, it was all over, Morgen Schick was in the New York Times, and you look so beautiful, and it was so sweet, everybody giving me these great compliments. What was so funny about it was that when I was there, I was a wreck, because I didn't think that, I didn't have time to put myself together, and what I want you to learn from that is that if you have simple, basic, go-to things that you do, everyone else thinks that you are totally put together, and you got ready in 5 minutes. I literally got ready in 5 minutes, tried to do my hair, couldn't do it, put it in a bun for 30 seconds, put on my dress, ran, put on some lip gloss that had a little red in it that was the same as the dress, and everybody thought that I had spent hours getting ready. But so these little things that you can do, that you have to have your go-to. So that is my first tip for today. And I've talked about it before, but I cannot tell you how it felt for me to have people writing and doing it on Twitter saying, you looked gorgeous in the New York Times. Because all I did was my go-to, I'm in a race, I can't believe I don't have any time. I'm going to do my go-to makeup that took 30 seconds. I'm going to do my go-to hair that takes 30 seconds. I'm going to throw on a dress I know I'm comfortable in, and I'm going to race out the door. And you end up getting a picture where everyone thinks you spent hours getting ready. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to have that go-to outfit, that go-to hair, that go-to makeup that you can do for yourself in minutes that make you feel confident about the image you're showing the world, because it matters. I cannot tell you how many emails I've gotten from people saying, wow, the New York Times. It matters. Now, everybody's not going to get in the New York Times. Trust me, I'll probably never get in the New York Times again. Don't even know how I got it in the first time. But the bottom line is our image matters, and especially since I'm a beauty expert, it really matters that people responded and said, you look great, wow, I want you to teach me how to do my makeup, where was your dress from, all that kind of stuff. And so I want to take really quickly, I've got a few minutes left, but I really want to take a call immediately. This is Karen. Hi, Karen. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Morgan.
How are you?
Doing great. How are you today?
I'm great. Okay, so Karen, what can I help you with?
I'm actually curious about your own skincare process, like makeup removal or moisturizers or any kind of remedies that you use to keep your skin healthy and natural.
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, because I don't want to give you my routine when you are half my age and you could be my daughter, which I'm so happy for you because you get to learn from all of my mistakes. This is so exciting. So I'm aging in, as I always say, I'm aging in dog years. Women age in dog years, so we have to really take a hold of it. Do you have a set routine now, or do you feel like your skin, are you seeing a lot of pimples? Are you seeing a lot of redness, rashes? Tell me your skin situation right now.
Yeah, typically I'm pretty lucky. I feel like my skin is pretty healthy. I don't really have any major blemishes. I think just, getting to that age as, you're approaching 30s and stuff, like I'm seeing some more wrinkles. I'm seeing like a little less elasticity in my skin. But I typically I'm pretty good about moisturizing. I definitely take my makeup off every day, not sleeping in it or anything like that. So, but it's nothing too, elaborate.
Okay, so you're doing all of those things. That is all right. I want you to start now. This will help you feel secure about your aging, even though I think that you're in a great spot. It's more about right now what you give up. You have to give up the sun. I know I was just talking about the Skincare Foundation. What I saw there and what we know to be every single day is that we're not dealing with the same sun I grew up with. The ozone layer is like baking us. So your biggest reason for losing elasticity is because of sun damage. Mm-hmm. I want you to investigate. I want you to not wash your face with soap in the morning. I want you to only splash it with water as if you're using soap, but no soap. Mm-hmm. No soap, no detergents in the morning, cleaning it the way you did at night. Within the next 4 years, I want you to start investigating a glycolic at night only. Okay. Only at night, because in your 20s, later 20s, is when you start to slow down that own process of skin renewal that our faces do, and that's when it will compromise. And you really want to have that. No lasers, nothing dramatic. I don't want you doing any peels. You can do a facial once a week. But the two things that are most important for you are to under-process, meaning don't use heavy detergents, especially twice a day, only once, and no sun. Okay. No sun. And I mean almost get neurotic about it because it's only getting worse. We're not taking care of the ozone layer, so we need to dig in and get ourselves. If you have a problem with breakouts with a sunscreen in your moisturizer, then you need to protect yourself with a concealer that is a little thicker, especially on the top of your nose and your forehead, places where the sun burns first.
Right.
Okay? Karen, thank you so much for calling me. Everybody, I'm so happy that you did, because everybody needs to know that under processing and understanding the sun and how it damages our skin is anti-aging. Okay, what Karen was just asking about how to keep her skin looking good, that is anti-aging. It is so much easier to not age than to try and reverse it. Okay? In a minute, I've got some great tips that can help you with more anti-aging. Stay with me. This is Morgen Schick, Beauty Rehab, 888-454-3378, 888-454-3378. Come right back.
Doesn't anybody love anybody anymore? We got one foot out the door. Right around the corner.
Hi there, welcome back. This is Morgen Schick with Beauty Rehab on the Lifestyle Talk Radio Network. You can also follow me on Twitter, Morgen Schick, MorgenSchick, and Instagram, same thing. Or if you've got more emails you need to and questions, you can write me at morgenschick.com. I wanted to really talk today before the whole New York Times thing happened, and I was so flabbergasted that everyone thought I spent hours getting ready for an event when I did it all in 5 minutes. I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk today about climate change, and what I mean by climate change is that the climate is changing, and you cannot use the same moisturizers, cleansers, and the same routine in the winter that you do in the summer. And we are going to get a cold snap most of the upper part of the country next week, and I really want to talk about that. So I want to give you one quick tip, and then I want to go to a caller. And my tip is just that. If you are in cold outside and hot, fake heat inside, you need to adjust accordingly. You need to make sure you are mixing your moisturizer with a little water in the morning, so you are hydrating your skin before you put that moisturizer on, okay? And you might want to take a bottle of your moisturizer with you at work if you are doing that heat in the heat, okay? That's a big fat tip for you guys. Alrighty, I would love to talk to Matt. We have Matt on hold. Hi, Matt. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Morgan.
Thank you for calling me. You're my first boy. You're my first boy.
I thought it might be a little unexpected, but that is an honor.
I'm not scared of you, but I'm totally excited, and I need to give you a snap for calling what I always thought was a girl show, but I'm psyched that you called. Okay, so what are we talking about?
Well, it may be a little bit of an unexpected question, but I am an up-and-coming actor, and I am often asked to do my own makeup before the shows.
Got it.
So I was hoping you had some tips or hints as to how to ride the line between not enough makeup and looking like a lady in pants on stage.
Well, unless you are wearing the lady in pants. If you are, that could be your role.
That is an option out there. That's true.
This is true. You know, it's so funny. Working with male models, I understand the kind of the line you are walking. Also, you have the benefit of being a male who gets an incredible skin shaving exfoliation every single day.
That's
so
true.
You're really lucky about that. Like, women always say, why do men look like they don't age? And I say, because they shave their faces every day. They are literally shaving off dead skin every single day, which you'll notice why men have, like, more wrinkles on their foreheads than they do on the rest of their face, because they're not shaving their foreheads. So I want to talk to you for a second about acting. Okay, so that is just the hardest career choice I really give you. There's only one thing harder on your self-esteem than modeling, and that's acting. So I give that to you because you've got to be thick-skinned to even handle that.
Thank you.
The other thing I know. The other thing I want to ask you is, do you do stage? Do you do screen? Or are you doing all of the above? What's your normal medium?
Stage.
Okay, so you really do walk a fine line, because in order for people to see you, I call it the squint factor.
Okay.
People have to be able to, you have to squint in the mirror when you're done with your makeup to see if you have enough on.
All right,
Okay,
I've never
so
heard
that
that
makes,
before.
I know. Well, I know. See, that's why you're calling.
Exactly.
Stuff you've never heard before. Because that's what people see. So if you squint in the mirror after you put your makeup on and you can't see your features, then you know you don't have enough on.
Okay.
Okay, so what you have to do is, I would do this. If you can start, first of all, you've got to put a moisturizer on after you do your shaving. You must. And the reason that you need to put that moisturizer on is because whatever you put on next, your skin is going to slurp up, and you could end up getting a lot of pimples from makeup and skin issues.
That makes sense. I always start breaking out during a show.
Exactly, because that's your skin trying to get rid of all that crud that you're putting on it. The second thing I want to, and then if you do use a moisturizer, then it's easier to use a powder foundation. If you can get away with a powder foundation, and I usually don't like for women to use powder foundations because they're so drying, but since you're exfoliating your skin every day shaving, you've got a little bit of leeway, and it will not soak into your skin as much as a regular foundation would, like a liquid. Okay, so there's a lot of like wet, dry foundations. MAC makes one. Pretty much everybody makes it. Physician's Formula, like there's mask, there's everything. You want to make sure that it's going to match your face and your neck, or as much of yourself as that you need to do for a stage. You want to try, if you do your eyebrows, you want to try and make them look as natural as possible, so it's just like use a blonde eyebrow pencil first. Then I want you to try to use a lip stain instead of a stick. Men can use a stain, and it looks so good from across the room in the squint factor, and you don't look like you're wearing lipstick. So there are tons of those mass magic markers out there. You're going to get one that's got a little brown in it. You don't want to look dead. It cannot look, you don't want blue tones because they make you look like a corpse.
Good to know.
So you're going to want something that's got like a little bit of a natural lip color, and it can even do pink. It can even have a little pink in it. You're going to draw your lip, and as soon as you draw it, you're going to rub it off with a finger. So you're getting like this base stain that's not obvious. Then if you want to put a little chapstick over it, it kind of acts like a lipstick, but it's not. And you don't look like you're in drag.
Okay.
Okay. Brown eyeliner instead of black. Okay. And I know I'm focusing a lot on, not kind of getting deeper into your skincare, but I really want you to concentrate on, no matter what, you must clean your makeup off every single night. No matter what. You never go to bed with makeup on.
Okay.
And in the morning, you don't use soap on your skin. You wash your face with regular water, as if you've got soap in your hand, scrubbing it with the water or the washcloth, but no detergent, because that will dry out your skin further, and then you're going to shave. Okay?
Okay.
I want you to try those three things. Remember, moisturize. Try to use a powder foundation or a liquid to powder foundation, meaning that it's a powder foundation you wet a little bit and then you put it on. You're going to do your eyebrows. You're going to use brown fur around your eyes, and you're going to find one of those $5 stain sticks that you get at a mass drugstore.
Great. I hadn't even considered touching the eyebrows before. That's going to be very helpful.
Oh, no, it's the most important thing. Squint factor. Do your eyebrows and then see how much else you need. But
Great.
don't do them. You don't want to look like Groucho Marx. You just want to fill them in a little bit. I promise you, step back from the mirror for 3 feet and then squint, and that's what the audience sees of you.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so glad you called. My first boy.
Me too. Thank
Tell
you
your
so
friends.
much.
Thank you so much. Good luck. Being an actor
Thank you.
is so tough. All right, people. But you know what? Being an actor is just like being in the real world. What you put out there is how people will receive you. Okay? Come back. We'll be right back. Morgen Schick, Beauty Rehab. Come right back. We'll see you soon.
Doesn't anybody help anybody anymore? We got 1 foot out the door. Right around.
Hi there. Welcome back. This is Morgen Schick with Beauty Rehab, a show where we can break down any beauty problems, aging problems, any difficult challenges that you have with your image. This is your place. as a Ford model for 30 years, an author, a makeup artist, a beauty expert on all sorts of TV shows. This is my lane. And I want you to feel super beautiful and empowered every single day. I have never met anyone where I did not believe that they could update their image to a point where they would look in the mirror and feel like $1 million. Nobody says you got to be a supermodel, because that's way too much work and effort and a 25-hour a job day. It's just not even worth it. But you need to look your best. You need to put the image out there in the world that you are excited about. So that means taking 5 minutes for your teeth, taking 5 minutes for your hair, making you look like you care. Make an effort, okay? So, and I just spoke to Karen. I was just speaking to Matt, and he's an actor. And it was funny because we were just talking about the squint factor. So if you go from your mirror for a few feet and you squint, that's kind of what the world sees about you. And in the beginning of the show, I was talking about how I had a picture in the New York Times this weekend, and everybody was telling me, wow, you looked great, blah, blah, blah. And I was in such a rush that I just put my hair up, put lipstick on, and a dress. But what I was talking about with Matt was it was the squint factor. That's what people saw. People saw the red lip that matched the dress a little bit and my hair up. And that's why they thought I looked good, because of the squint factor. So even though Matt's an actor and I am not, the squint factor works. You squint in the mirror, and that's what people see. So do your teeth, do your hair, maybe add a red lip or a pink lip or something dynamic, and go about your day and enjoy it. And you better be a nice person, because, as we know, no amount of lipstick can cover up a angry or sad or unfulfilled heart. Okay, so I have got Rachel on the phone. Rachel, are you there?
Hey, yes.
Hi, thanks for calling. What can I help you with?
So I dye my hair a lot, probably too much. I really want to know how to, A, maintain color, and what's the healthiest regimen to not completely damage my hair.
Okay, let's back that up a bit. You dye your hair a lot. Why?
Well, I think it was a rebellion thing when I was younger, and now I feel like I just have to keep it up.
Right.
I'm like naturally a strawberry blonde, and everyone was like, don't dye your hair. And so, of course, I wanted to dye my hair.
Of course.
Yeah. So now I feel like, it's a nice red, and I love it, but, the blonde roots come in, and I always feel like I'm touching it up.
So you are a naturally a strawberry blonde. You started, so your hair right now, and so you said it's a rebellion thing. So were you rebelling against that you were kind of like this natural pretty girl, or you were rebelling against, what were you rebelling against?
I think I just wanted, I think my parents, always told me, oh, your hair's so beautiful, and so it just kind of, made me want to change my hair even more. I don't know really why, but... Because
when you were young and you didn't understand your power of your beauty, I think it's very... I don't understand it either, but I have the same thing that happens with my daughter. People tell her she's pretty and she just wants to hide. I'm like, really? Stand up, because someday you're just going to be old.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're over the rebellion, and now you would love being pretty. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Are we over that? Okay, good. So let's get your hair right. Now you're dyeing your hair red.
Yeah, which is a
single process?
Yeah.
Okay, are you doing it yourself, or are you doing it at a salon?
I'm going to salon.
Okay. So and how often are you going?
I think I go once a month, which I know doesn't sound bad, but I can definitely feel my hair suffering from it.
Right. And are they they're doing a single, so it means that they're adding color to just your roots, or they're doing it all over, or they're doing balayage, which is they paint already dyed hair over and over again?
It's just all over color.
Okay. So, and it's the red?
Yeah.
So it's the red. What I want you to do is I want you to, when you get your hair colored, I want you to not wash your hair for 48 hours.
Okay.
Okay, because your cuticle stays open for for about 48 hours. And if you wash your hair, then you are going to be washing color out of your hair immediately.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay? Second thing I want you to do is if you go swim or if you do anything else like that, your hair is going to, if it's dry, your hair is going to soak up whatever mineral or whatever chemical could be in the water from the start, from dry to wet. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're swimming in a chlorinated water and you go in with dry hair, your hair immediately soaks up all that chlorine, and it'll either turn it green or it will take away your color.
Gotcha.
So if you're a swimmer or if you're going to the beach or whatever it is, you need to take a bottle of regular pure water, clean water, dump it over your hair first so your hair is saturated before you go into any kind of a chemical.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing I want you to do is make sure, since you're doing red hair, you just always want to wear a hat because that will turn your red to orange, and you don't want to do that.
No.
And what I also want you to do is if you are considering going back to your natural beautiful color and you're trying to kind of get rid of the all-over color process, instead of having them do a single process, which is they put it all over your root, next time tell them to use the color they're using, but to do it with highlights.
Oh, okay.
So let's imagine you've got your natural hair color, and you said, I want to do red highlights. They would just foil in that red highlight into your hair, into your strawberry blonde. We're doing it to do the same thing, but it's going to take a little longer, so then all of a sudden you're going to, instead of having a wall of red and then your natural blonde, you're going to start having subtle stripes of it. See what I'm saying?
Which is eventually like what I want to get back to.
Exactly. So what I want you to do is I want you to work towards your non-rebellious Rachel who loves her natural hair color.
Mm-hmm.
So you can enjoy it because someday you might be gray and you may be pining away for that natural color.
Yeah.
And so if you tell your colorist, here's what I want to do. Instead of doing a single process, I want to use the same color, but I want to do it as highlights. Then it's a much more gradual, it's almost going to end up looking like an ombre after a while, which will be a very cool ombre because you're going to have this like strawberry blonde coming out, and yet then you're going to have red on the ends. And then you'll just keep getting your hair cut, and it'll keep growing out, and eventually you're going to have your natural hair, and then you just skip those highlights and you're done.
That sounds awesome, and that was really helpful.
It's going to take about a year to get it all the way out without damaging it, but it can happen. You can do it gradually. I want you to embrace what I want. If I can do anything for you, Rachel, it's that you learn to love the person you are. So we're not rebellious. So it's almost like you don't go through that stage. I want to try and get people to not go through that stage because it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Yeah, so you love the sweet, natural parts of you now because when you're older, you're going to try and get them back, especially since you see everybody else trying to change who they are. And they're all trying to get to be strawberry blondes. And you're like, I was a strawberry blonde.
I know.
So enjoy the natural, beautiful, and I want that. And Rachel, what I'm saying to you, I'm saying to everyone who's listening. Enjoy the most authentic, natural parts of you because it's a waste of time and a waste of energy not to love who you're looking at in the mirror and not think you have to change everything. All right? Thank you so much for calling me. I really appreciate it. I hope I helped you today.
Yeah, you really did. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, so I'm going to be right back, but what I want you to remember from this call, Rachel, is that enjoy the moment of your natural self. upgrade it a little bit, but don't change it drastically. Just a little tweak here and there, and enjoy the life and the person you are today. Don't try to be something that's so far out of your wheelhouse, because it's exhausting to keep it up, and it's not worth it. I'm so happy you spent time with me. We'll be right back.
Doesn't anybody help anybody anymore? We got one foot out the door.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Morgen Schick, and this is Beauty Rehab. I want to talk to you about climate change. I'm going to take a call in 1 second, and then the climate change I'm talking about is the fact that we are going into winter, and I want you to not have problems with your skin. So, if you are a person who is using a glycolic or a retin-A, which is a retinoid that helps you with skin turnover, if you're over 40, you should be using one or the other. I want you to mix your glycolic or your retin-A every single night with a moisturizer during the winter. Okay? Because if you get peeling and red skin and then you go out into extreme cold or you go inside into extreme heat, it will exacerbate and you may end up with open sores. Okay? So mix your powerful retinoids, retinoic acids with a moisturizer during the winter. Okay? I want to say hello to Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for calling.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so tell me, what's your question? What do you got for me?
All right, my question is, I'm just wondering, I'd like to get my eyebrows done, but I don't always like going to a salon to have it done. Do you have any suggestions on how I can figure out which eyebrow shape is best for me?
That is a super great question. I'm so glad you asked it. Okay, first of all, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you some questions.
Okay.
Did you go now to get your eyebrows down, right?
I do.
Okay. So before you started doing your eyebrows, did you have thick, bulky eyebrows? Did they go together? Did they go together? Was it kind of like a unibrow?
No, I mean, I had some, light hairs between my eyebrows. It wasn't like a unibrow, just like peach fuzzy kind of hair.
Right, peach fuzzy, exactly, which is totally fine. So why did you go have your eyebrows done? Just for strays around the sides, or you were...
Yeah, exactly, like on the side, or more like underneath and on top, not like really... Yeah, exactly.
Here's the interesting thing. I do not love having people shape other people's eyebrows. Mm-hmm. Because it makes usually it gives them an inauthentic shape for their face. Mm-hmm. Basically, I believe your brow was set the way it is almost perfectly for your facial structure. Mm-hmm. So everybody says, "Oh, I'm gonna change your face with your eyebrows," but it doesn't really work. You cannot get a Julia Roberts eyebrow. It doesn't look right on you for where your bone structure is, where your cheekbones are, where your jawline is. Right. So the best advice I have for doing my own eyebrows or doing your eyebrows is for you to understand the basic principles, because it's like any other marketing tool that you need to go to somebody else for them to find what's perfect for you. I believe it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. You had the power all along. It's true. Now, you may not be able to get those tiny little hairs because you can't see them. That's different.
Right.
But the shape that you were born with, having it just not having eyebrows not crouch down into where your eyes are or where your eyebrow bone is, I 100% agree with getting that cleaned up.
Right. Yeah, and that's more what I'm thinking about.
That's more that you were thinking about. So what I'm going to say to you is that, number one, when you're going to get your eyebrows done, your eyebrow must be perpendicular, meaning that if you take a ruler or a pencil, your eyebrow must line up with your cheekbone and your jaw.
Okay.
So you know the whole thing where they say put a pencil by your nose?
Right.
That does not work at all.
Okay.
No, and I was one of the people that thought that was a good idea. The problem is that if you have close-set eyes and you put a pencil close to your nose, you're going to make your eyebrows even closer, and then you're going to look like you have even more close-set eyes.
That makes sense.
Youth is open, wide-set eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting from the outside of your face, and then we'll work in. Outside of your face, meaning that your brow, the length of your brow, the end of your brow should match up with your cheekbone and your jaw. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you're going to want the arch of your brow. Now, almost everyone has a little bit of an arch. All we want to do is make sure it's obvious that you have an arch. And if you don't have an arch, then your face was not meant to have an arch.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do get an arch, all of a sudden you look like Spock.
And I don't
You know what I'm saying? So I want you, Sarah, to have the most beautiful, refined brow for your face. I don't want you to have everybody's got these like Kardashian brows now. And they don't even look right on the Kardashians. I want you to have a beautiful, trimmed, remember, a lot of shaping of a brow can happen with trimming.
Mm-hmm.
So you brush your brow straight up, and you trim it, and then you brush it to the outside, and you trim it to make sure that it's not making your brow look too bulky as well.
Okay, that's really good advice. Thanks.
Now, the only other thing is that if your eyes are close set, meaning that you have less than 2 inches between your eyes where your nose bone is, you are not going to want your brow to go in more than your eye tear duct does.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you've got super wide set eyes where you've got like 2 or 3 inches in between both of your eyes, then you're going to use your brows to be closer in so you can kind of pull them together. But it is so rare that people have wide set eyes. They most often have close set eyes.
Yeah, and that's me.
Okay? So you're not going to want your brow to go in further than your eye tear duct.
Okay.
Okay? So I wish I had more time with you, but the biggest point I want you and everyone else to get is that you have the brows that you should have. We just want to fine-tune them. We do not want you to have somebody's fake brow on your face.
Yeah.
I call it in defense of our natural brows.
Cool.
You can get them cleaned up. You're so welcome. And I want everybody else to hear what Sarah it was such a great question. Fine-tune and upgrade the features you were born with. Don't try to get somebody else's features on your face. It never looks authentic, and you will never be your most beautiful if you try to own someone else. Be you. Be the most fantastic, gorgeous version of you, and you will be happier, and it will be so much easier. Thank you for your amazing calls today, you guys. I love being with you. I want you to come back every week, 888-454-3378, Morgen Schick, Beauty Rehab. I am here for you. Have an incredible week. We'll talk soon.